Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be covering a password generator project. It's going to be a pretty simple program that will basically just generate a password. So for this, we will need two imports, two modules. So one of them is going to be the random, because the password needs to be made at random, and also the other one needs to be string, because we're going to be making passwords out of strings. So let's get started with the main function. So we're going to define the function def, let's say generate password, and this function will take one argument, and that argument will be the length, because we need to know how much the length will be. We need to specify how much the length will be to generate the password that we want. And also, string, it is a module that provides ASCII letters, digits, and punctuation. So ASCII letters meaning from A to Z, capital and lowercase, and also digits 0 to 9, and also punctuation, so any kind of punctuation. Okay, so moving on, we need to set a variable. So the variable needs to be, we'll call it characters. Okay, so here we have a characters variable, which contains string.ascii letters, string.digits, and string.punctuation. This looks kind of complicated at first, but if you think about it, it's pretty simple. This is just one thing plus another plus another. So we're adding the ASCII letters with the digits with the punctuation, and then we're going to create the password variable. So this is a variable that's just for our characters, and this is where our password will actually be stored. So let me add all the code for that, and then I will explain it. Okay, so the random.choice is pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. The random.choice characters just makes a simple choice between the characters. And what are the characters? As you can see, as we said, punctuation, digits, and letters. So it's gonna choose a random, letter or digit or any one of the characters. Basically, it's gonna choose it at random, and it's gonna join it. So this for statement is used and it runs length amount of times. So if length is specified to be 5, it'll run 5 times. And that's basically the range. And this underscore is basically just, you could say, kind of like a placeholder. It's not really important, but it needs to be there. You can say anything for L in length, it doesn't matter. But in this case, we're using underscore. And then we want to return the password. And also before we do that, we want to join each character. We want to join it together to return, in order to return the password. So now we move on to the main part of the function. So this is the main loop. So while true, we're going to be using a while loop to return the function. While it is true, which means it's an infinite loop that will only break when we tell it to break, or else it will just run infinitely. So we want to say length equals to int, and then we want to input. So this is typecasting int, because input is usually a string and we want it to be an integer. So we are typecasting int to input, and we want to say enter a password length. And then between parentheses, we want to say or 0 to exit. So this is basically going to run, and it's going to tell you to enter a password length or 0 to exit. If the user inputs 0, it's going to break out of the loop. If you input anything else, it will store that in length, and then it will generate the password using that length. So if we put 5, it'll create a 5-character password. If length equal 0, we break, because that's what we're telling it to do. And other than that, we want to printf actually, and we want to say generated password, and this is where the f comes in, because we're going to be using these curly braces. So generate password length. So let's try it out. Enter our password length or 0 to exit. So if we enter 0, that's it. We broke out of the loop, game over. If we try it again and we say 1, it generated a password, which is C, and it'll ask you to generate another one. We try again with 1, it's R. Try again, it's 7. Let's try a 10-character password. This is our password. Let's try another 10-character password. That's our password. 34. That's our password. This is what you would usually get suggested from Google, and it's the most complicated thing ever. So that's basically it. And then when you're done, you can just press 0 and you can exit the code, and that is it for our password generator. It's pretty simple, just 14 lines of code. I hope you guys learned something new, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And if you would like any other small projects or tutorials, please let me know. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to give you what you want.